Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. Today is February 28th, 2025, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights today, Nasdaq tumbles over 500 points. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we have at 3:30 South African time from Canada, a monthly GDP, gross domestic product, and from the United States, a PCE price index number coming out. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, US dollar gaining versus the major pairs. And as we shift over to the indices, the Dow Jones also sold off lower. Now looking at commodities, gold continues to slide as well. And shifting over to the stocks, it's the tech sector that got beaten hard and sold off. Now looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin continues to nosedive below 80K. So let's take a look at markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now it's retracing or sold off to a supportish level. But keep that in mind. We're at 103.87. We were at 104.89. So all intents and purposes, 150 pips is pretty decent in 1 day of trading. You could see that nosedive in just 1 day of trading. Now, it did hit resistance-ish level at 105.34, so that's completely validated. And if we shift over to the Canadian dollar, getting weaker here, and tariffs are going to be starting March 4th on Canadian products, 25%. That's steep, and that's going to have an effect on the Canadian dollar for sure. Now, jumping into commodities, let's take a look at gold. As it continues to slide to 28.59, we're over about 100 points from our all-time record highs, but all intents and purposes, it's a bit of a retreat, okay? With all, never hit 3,000, got close to it, but never hit 3,000. So this is an element of how much further could it retrace. Now, in all intents and purposes, we could retrace to real support will be at 27.87. So we've got some way to go. The question is whether or not we're going to find some footing before then, all right? Now, looking at the U.S. markets, let's take a look at the tech. This is where it happened. Nasdaq selling over 500 points. This is amazing. Amazing move on the downside. Now, we are hitting supportish areas, so just be aware of it, all right? We've been consolidating in this upper area since December and finally breaking lower with a bar. That's significant, okay? That might mean that we will sell off further if this momentum continues to the downside. And taking a look at the individual stocks, NVIDIA was the one that got hit the worst. Let's take a look at it. Back to that 118-ish level. And this has been a seesaw. I mean, you can't see it on this chart really very well, but we went from $98 up to $150, and now we're back to $118. It's been all over the place, you know, as it's been selling off, right? Looking at Facebook, also sold off yesterday quite aggressively. Looking at some of the other tech stock, Tesla selling off aggressively this past week, all right? Over 22% over 1 week of trading. That's significant, all right? So the tech stock did get beat up the worst. The question is whether or not we're going to get a bounce at some point after a short squeeze after this sell-off, or we're going to continue selling off, okay, as that has happened. So you got to really time it and really gauge it as the market opens in the U.S. to really take that into consideration. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, was no different, okay, especially with what happened with Bybit yesterday, where a North Korean actually stole 1.5 billion, something like that. Unbelievable, all right, that this is happening in our day and age. But sure enough, that's, you know, if there are thieves in the old days who used to get to the bank, there are thieves that, you know, can break into systems in, you know, on the computers and servers. So it's no different, right? So here we are at 78. Now we do have supportish level of 72. Question is whether or not we're going to get that, but we're dipping below 80K in just a couple of days of trading. So this is super important, all right? As soon as it could go down, it could go up again. So just remember that, all right, if it does form a V formation. But look at that nosedive. That is extreme, to say the least. All right, so this is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Just be responsible today, and we may find ourselves selling off into the weekend again. So just be on the right side. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.